I'm Jeff Philbin. This is Dinner DeeAs with an idea for dinner straight from the streets of Mexico City. We're making carne asada costras with a chipotle sauce, guacamole, and tortilla chips. My guest today runs a food truck with not only an awesome name, guacamole, but with a mission to share truly authentic Mexican food. Chef David Rosales, welcome to Dinner DeeAs Kitchen, my friend.
Thank you very much.
I am so excited to have you inside the Dinner DeeAs Kitchen today because Chef David is sharing how he makes one of his best sellers. It's called a costra, and he's described it as a quesadilla made by putting cheese right on the grill, and then you put the meat right inside that. So it's like just cheesy, crusty, delicious.
Yes, it's a crazy idea. I know it sounds, a lot of people are confused when they ask me about it, but yeah, we literally put the cheese directly on the griddle. We put the meat inside and we fold it, and the tortilla looks like a burrito, and it's amazing.
And this is like an authentic dish in Mexico City. Like this is where like all the late night bars, everyone's getting out. They need something to kind of absorb a little bit of the fun libations, if you will. And this is authentic.
Yes, very authentic.
Very cool. What do we need to do to get started here?
So what we want to do first is we want to marinate our carne asada. So this is sirloin steak.
Okay.
And what we're going to start with is we're going to grab a little bit of salt, right? We got to make sure we season it. We're going to grab some garlic powder. A little bit more. Don't be shy. Now we're going to do some onion powder as well. We're going to squeeze some lime to add a little bit of flavor. And then to give it a little kick, we're gonna put some chipotle sauce.
Nice.
Okay? So chipotle, for people that don't know, is basically a smoked jalapeno, okay? And then what we wanna do is we're gonna let it sit. Ideally, you wanna let it sit for 30 minutes in the fridge. That's gonna grab way more flavor.
Okay.
But if you're really hungry too,
yeah,
you can do it, and it's gonna taste just as good.
Just as good. All right, so all we gotta do next, we just gotta cover this, you're saying, and then this is gonna be a marinade for at least a half hour.
Yep.
Just put it right in the fridge?
Put it in the fridge.
All right, it's going right in the fridge. And to get cooking up a kosher in your kitchen, find Chef David's recipe with all the amounts, the ingredients, and directions at dinnerdeeas.com. Use the QR code down there on screen by getting your phone, opening the camera app, and pointing at the TV. When the box we've put in the bottom left corner is in frame, a link to our site will appear right on your phone. So that's marinating. That's going to bring out some beautiful flavors. What else can we do to bring more flavors to this dish?
So as a side, and basically you want to eat it with, we're going to make some chipotle crema.
Okay.
We're going to make it super easy, especially for people that want to do it fast. You can go to the store, any big box store, Walmart, Publix, you just buy a Mexican crema.
Okay.
Buy a can of chipotle sauce.
Now, Mexican crema, like, what really is Mexican crema?
So think about sour cream,
Yeah.
but the difference is that Mexican crema is a little lighter, meaning it's a little bit more liquid, and also it's not as sour.
Yeah.
That's what I would recommend.
Okay, so then it should be thinner in consistency.
Correct.
Because like the sour cream, it's thick. This is it's got viscosity behind it, but it's still going to have that tang because of all the cultures that are happening behind it.
Correct.
Okay, okay, very
And then
cool.
what we're gonna do, we're basically, and this is obviously gonna depend on your spice tolerance.
Yeah.
What I would recommend, start with 2 scoops, and then start mixing it. And then as you start getting to a spice level that you enjoy, that's when I would recommend to stop. Personally, for example, with me, I would put 5 of those.
So you really like it spicy?
I like spicy.
You like it spicy?
My stomach doesn't like it, but I like it.
But you like it?
Yes, I love it.
That's the same way
Yes.
I am too. Like, in my stage of life now, it's like,
Yeah.
I really want it, but should I? And then it's like, all right.
Exactly. So yes, we will mix it, and same thing, we'll put it in the fridge, sit on 30 minutes until the carne asada is marinated too, and then you're ready to go.
And if you want to make this in bulk, put it into a squirt bottle, you've got a Mexican crema that you could bring
Oh,
out
yeah.
at any time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's got good shelf life.
Yeah, oh definitely. I would say plenty.
Plenty there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, the man from Guacamole shows us how he does his guacamole, and we cook up our carne asada ahead at Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to to Dinner DeeAs. We've brought Mexican street food into the coziness of the kitchen today, thanks to Chef David Rosales. Raised in Mexico, he runs Clearwater food truck Guacamole and is sharing how he does one of his best-selling dishes, Carne Asada Costras. It's like a quesadilla, but it's not a quesadilla. We're going to get to it. Before the break, we marinated the steak using lime juice, garlic powder, salt, onion powder, and chipotle sauce. Covered it and let it do its thing in the fridge while we made a chipotle crema. A simple blend of more of that chipotle sauce along with Mexican crema. It's kind of like a Mexican sour cream, but just a lot thinner. All right, you're starting to squeeze some limes, so what are we doing next?
So we're gonna make the guacamole.
Okay.
Which it goes perfect as a side, or if you wanna basically dip your costra on it, it tastes amazing. So what we're gonna start is you're gonna help me dice a quarter of that onion.
Okay.
Very thinly.
And you just want a quarter, you say?
Just a quarter, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we can do that.
And then as you're doing that, I'm gonna start.
What is the secret to a really good guacamole?
That's a really good question because the different parts of Mexico have different types of guacamole. For example, the one that we're doing here, it's gonna have lime and it's gonna have tomatoes. I've been to different parts of Mexico that they don't use lime or they don't use tomato, you know? So it's based on preference, but I think the main ingredient that it has to have is some type of pepper. For today, we're gonna do more of a mild guacamole, so we're using jalapeno peppers.
Nice.
If you like more spicy, I would definitely recommend using serrano peppers better.
Okay.
I'll help you.
Okay.
Cut a little bit of cilantro.
And I'm just gonna move this to the side then. Just
Yes.
put the onions to the
yeah,
side.
just to the side,
Okay.
yeah. And now we're gonna do the same thing for those 2 tomatoes.
Okay. Now, how do you like your tomatoes? You like them like chunky, you like big?
No, I like them as fine as you can.
Okay.
And in squares.
Okay.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Now, what type of tomatoes do you like for this one?
Roma tomatoes.
Roma tomatoes?
Yeah, and what I recommend is try to make sure they're nice and red, but also make sure they're hard, because if they're like smooshy, the guacamole doesn't taste as good. So make sure like they have a good consistency. You don't want them soft.
Okay. And what about the avocados? Because sometimes that's the hardest thing to actually find when they're really good. Like, what are you looking for with a good avocado when it comes to?
So the trick for me is to make sure you take this like stem from here, and you see how it looks like a nice green color?
Yeah.
That means it's gonna be good. If you see it brown, it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, so make sure it looks like a beautiful color of the avocado, then you'll be guaranteed that it's gonna be a good one.
Really cool, because
Yeah.
most people will go to the grocery store and then they start feeling it to be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the touch part to it all.
Yeah.
But no.
No,
there's more to it.
because sometimes you touch it and then you'll cut it in half and it's black from the inside, you know?
Okay.
So no, just make sure it looks nice and green from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then you say we also need the.
The jalapeno?
The jalapeno.
Yeah, but what
Now,
I would
what's-
recommend
Yeah,
is
show me.
first cut this part here.
What does that do?
So for me, it helps me taste how spicy it is. So what
Okay.
I like to do, I literally like to put my tongue in it, and then I'll see how spicy it is. If it's not that bad, for example, this one is not as spicy,
Okay.
I would recommend let's cut half and dice it really thinly.
Okay.
Also, if you're not that big into like spiciness, what I would recommend, the more fine and small you cut it, the least spicy you're gonna feel. If you want more spicy, then I would cut it in a bigger pieces, in
Now,
bigger squares.
What about the seeds? Do you like the seeds?
I like the seeds
You like
personally.
the seeds. All right, so
yeah.
I'm going to put those to the side for now, and then we'll
Yeah.
come back to that one then.
Yeah, but you don't have to use them. It really depends on preference and, like I said, the amount of spice that you can tolerate. But personally, and the way that we do it in the food truck, we use the seeds for sure.
Now, you tolerate a lot of spice? You like spice?
Yes, I do, but I think I overdid it. Growing up, I ate so much that now my stomach doesn't like it, which is the biggest issue.
So you kind of met your quota then.
I did. Yes, I did. I'm gonna cut the avocados and get them ready too while you're doing it. So you see,
Beautiful.
beautiful, right?
Beautiful. It's going to be just creamy, soft.
Yes.
What you want. Is that enough onions, tomatoes,
That's perfect.
jalapeno for
That's
you?
perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna have you do the same thing for these 2 avocados, and then I'll start scooping them here. We're gonna use this bowl.
We'll slide these two for you.
Thank you.
Pleasure, chef. And then, how does it all come together? Like, what's the proper way to really get great guacamole?
So what we're gonna do right now, and you're gonna help me as well, we're gonna start by mashing the avocados.
Okay.
Okay. And once we're done with that, I like to add a little bit of lime.
Okay.
Salt.
Before or after you do it? Before you start mashing?
No, after.
After.
Yeah, after it's nice and mashed. Perfect, last one.
And do you like to keep a lot of texture behind it?
Yeah, I like it, yeah.
Okay.
So you're very close to it. Yeah,
close.
so that's perfect, yeah.
This is good.
So
Okay.
now we're gonna add a little bit of lime.
Okay.
Okay. Then salt. Garlic powder.
Garlic powder. Instead of having just minced garlic. What
Yeah.
does it do for you in this?
I mean, for us, I think because we do a lot, it actually helps us with the process.
Okay.
But it tastes just as good, really.
Okay.
And then we want to mix it up. Perfect. And like my grandma says, you have to make sure you're trying your foods through the process to make sure that it tastes good. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna try a little bit in here. Perfect. You have some taste in here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna add a little bit more lime.
A little more lime.
Okay. You agree with me?
I agree with you on that
Good.
one. And maybe a little more salt?
A little bit more salt, but we're gonna wait for the salt.
Okay.
Because we're gonna now add all these ingredients that you just diced for us.
Okay.
And then we're gonna salt it at the end.
Salt it at the end.
Yeah, so we're gonna mix it up. Perfect.
Give it a nice little stir first.
Beautiful. Exactly, and I like how you're like going soft because you don't want to mash like the tomatoes and the onion. Perfect. And then we're gonna do one final touch of.
Now, is that enough onions and tomatoes and the jalapeno?
That's perfect.
That's good? Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see if that gave it that nice
Yeah,
little
let
touch
me
right
see if I
there.
can mix it a little bit more. And then you have the jalapenos too, and give it a try.
Oh, that's perfect.
Good?
That's perfect.
Good.
Ooh, that's really good. I got a
Yeah.
little onion bite too
So
right there.
now what we're gonna do is a big trick that I can tell you, because you know avocados get dark super fast, okay?
Brown so fast.
Yeah.
The oxidation, it's like,
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a little bit of this, if you wanna help
I'll
me.
help you. Absolutely.
And then instead of covering it like that, we
Okay.
actually wanna make sure that we're covering it by pressing it.
So you're trying to really create the most seal you possibly can.
Exactly.
Because oxygen is what's going to oxidize. The oxidization is what's going to do the browning, and that's what no one really wants.
Exactly.
All right.
Let's see if I
So
can
you
do
want
that.
to give a little bit more plastic wrap is what you're kind of saying.
So I like to do two. So one is gonna be to basically make sure you take away all the oxygen. And then if you really want to make sure that there's no more, you can put another one. For
Yeah.
this, we're fine. We don't wanna waste that much plastic. But, so that's perfect.
No,
This is what's gonna help you.
I've seen friends of mine do this before, and they actually put water.
Yeah,
in between. You
yeah.
ever
Some
do
people
that
do that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a trick too that if you, let's say you have half of an avocado, you can put it on water and it stays.
And it
green.
helps with that.
Yeah.
All right, so this is going to go into the
Yeah,
fridge now.
and then we're gonna grab the carne asada
I
and we're gonna
love
cook it.
Because to get your guacamole made the guacamole way, grab Chef David's recipes for this and the Costras we're working on next at our website, DinnerDeeAs.com. Just scan the QR code down there to find us on your phone.
Okay.
All right.
So we got our carne asada here.
And we got a screeching hot grill pan here. A little
Mm-hmm.
bit of oil for you.
And then what we're gonna do?
That wonderful sound.
I love that sound.
We're halfway there with it.
We are.
While our steak gets grilled, we're taking a break. When we come back, our Mexican Costras masterclass, as Chef David shows us how to cook, flip, and finish on the head at Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where we're sampling street food from Mexico, thanks to our guest chef, David Rosales. He puts a modern twist on traditional classics at his food truck, Guacamole, and today he's letting us in on how to make one of his most popular dishes, Carne Asada Costras. Before the break, we made some guacamole, dicing onion and tomato, adding to avocado along with lime juice, garlic powder, salt, and cilantro, covering it on the surface of the guac itself with plastic wrap to stop it from browning while we cooked up our marinated steak, which we did want to brown. And is it to your liking?
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
So
what do we need to do next with it then?
I'm gonna have you help me,
Okay.
Jeff, slice it into cubes.
Okay.
Okay. Gonna be here.
Very good.
Okay.
Now you like to go a little bit thicker?
No, I
You
think
like-
that's perfect.
This
yeah.
is about, okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, so ideally you want to make cubes that it's easy to chew on, you know, because you're going to basically put it inside of the cheese. So yeah, that's perfect. Beautiful.
All right.
So now what we're going to do to make it a little bit easier, we're going to put it in our bowl. Okay. I'm going to have you help me do the last one.
Sure,
And
I'll
while
help
you
you.
do that,
And what do we need to do next then?
so now we're going to grab cheese. This is a 4-blend cheese.
Okay.
And we're going to grab a good amount and we're going to put it in our...
And already a heated pan, already hot, because the costras translates to crust. So now we're making like a cheese crust.
Exactly. And so basically, we're going to leave it for maybe 20 seconds.
Okay.
Now we're going to grab a good portion of steak to make our costra.
Oh, so that's going straight onto the
Straight
cheese
into
like
it.
that?
Yeah, okay. And then what we're going to do with our spatula, we're going to put a little pressure on it. And then we're going to start testing it out to make sure it becomes that crust that you're talking about. So
yeah?
we're getting very close to it, okay?
Oh, that sounds so good. Because to grab the recipes to create your own costra, guac, and sauce, go to dinnerdeas.com. You can scan the QR code in the corner of the screen to find us right on your phone. Oh, that cheese is melting so nicely. It's
Okay,
starting to
so
bubble.
Now we're going to flip it.
Oh, almost like a quesadilla now.
Yes. And
You're
for
going all
example,
out with this.
Jeff, let's say we have a lot of people doing the keto diets, right? So if you guys don't want to add the flour tortilla, you can just
You
eat it
just
like this.
stop right there.
Yep.
Gluten-free, but all of the best stuff right there. Meat
Exactly.
and cheese.
Yep, that's all you need. So now we're gonna do the final step, okay?
Okay.
Which we're gonna grab the flour tortilla, we're gonna put it here, and then what we're gonna try to do, we're gonna fold it, kind of making it look like a burrito.
Okay.
So we're here, we're gonna be folding it. Should get some nice texture. And now we're gonna grill it, and we wanna make sure
Oh, now you're sealing it?
we're gonna make sure it's nice and golden from all sides. Okay, that's our final step.
That's the final step. All right.
Because you just need to be careful because your
Okay.
pan is very hot, so it will get golden very fast. Okay.
All right. I will keep an eye on this one here and do this one here. What do we need to do next over
So
here?
now we're gonna make the chips that we're gonna eat it as a side. Okay. So you're
Okay.
gonna get some tortillas. What I would recommend, if there's a Mexican store nearby you,
Yeah.
make sure you get the tortillas that they get sent daily.
Okay, so the freshest that you can
Those are
possibly
the
get.
best ones. If you cannot find that, then go to either Walmart or Publix and you can get regular tortillas from there.
Okay.
But if you want real chips, this is the game
This is
changer.
it. Okay.
Yes. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it in half and then one more time. And now that our oil is nice and hot, we're just gonna dump them in here.
Okay. And I took this off the heat because I got on all of the sides like you said. It was
Yep.
it was beautiful. I just want to put that aside because I don't want that to burn on you, my friend.
Yeah, and now we just have to make sure the chips are cooking from both sides. And once we get a nice golden crispy color, that's when we're gonna take them out. We gotta make sure we drain the oil, and then we add a little bit of salt, and that's it.
Speaking my love language here, my friend. When we come back, how to plate everything we've made into a delicious dinner ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz, where we've been making a truly Mexican meal with Chef David Rosales from food truck Guacamole. Carne Asada Costras with homemade guac and tortilla chips.
It's ready.
It's ready. Oh, let's do this.
Okay, so the next step that we're gonna do, we're gonna cut our costra in half, okay? Set it up here. We're gonna put some guacamole. Generous portion, because remember, we're gonna put some chips on it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's put a little bit of chips. Oh, I don't know where our tongues went, so good thing I just washed my hands. Okay, are you ready to try it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do.
What's the process?
You're gonna grab your costra.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do it with you as well.
Please.
I'll try. And then we're gonna put some crema. I'll put some on yours too.
Okay.
And then just put some guacamole too. Okay. And then we'll say salud.
Salud. Salud. Thanks to Chef David. The recipes for this entire Mexican meal are at our website, dinnerdiaz.com, along with a link to its food truck, Guacamole, which is such a cool name, dude. That is so cool.
Thank you.
I'm Jeff Philbin. See you next time with more ideas for dinner, as we call them, Dinner Diaz.